the moment you become a parent, that is a mother, a father, or even a guardian in any capacity of being a parent, a lot of things are going to change. So parenthood affects all the decisions you make in life. I don't know if you've ever thought about that. So this topic is actually triggered by one of the conversations I was having with one of the parents. I love the parents who reach out to me. Thank you so much. I love being a mother. I love being a parent. Thank you so much. So we were having a discussion. So this discussion was based on the decision, actually the new chapter of the mother. So this is a single mom, and this single mom is actually back into a relationship with one of the exes. So they separated, but none of them had ever actually found a new partner. So after all these years, like 3 to 4, so the father to one of the children is insisting and begging the lady to get back. But the first child, the first daughter, is really against this. Reason being that she has her own reasons. Some of the things she saw. Her reasons are very valid. Our reasons are very valid as a child, because children matter in any way, in any decisions we are making. Because the moment they come into our lives, things start to change. But the mother has reason. This has been a single mother trying so hard to feed these children, provide for them, do ABCD. But the good part of this ex, who is now getting back into the picture, is he has been trying his level best to help out the mother. So the mother feels like this is the time for her to kind of like relieve the stress. She needs a hand to help, because the kind of work she does really requires a lot of energy, a lot of time. She doesn't pray, she doesn't do what and all that. So she believes the return of this ex will actually relieve something. As I was listening to her reasons as to why she's really concerned about the way the daughter is feeling. Of course, the daughter is around 14, 15. Yeah, she's feeling, but also she also has her own work. She wants to have her life. She wants to be happy. She wants to be taken care of as much as she still be working. So as I listened and tried to understand her point, as well, the daughter's points are valid and the mother is valid. So I was like, she was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to help my daughter understand that I really need this? And the good thing about the other guy has no problem with that, because even has been supporting this daughter in one or the other, though he's not the biological father from that, separation relationship. And guess what? After us having a conversation and talking and helping the mother realize, the daughter is supposed to be part of the conversations and other things, how, we rarely have these conversations in our setting, especially in the African, setting. Like we rarely involve children in our decision making. But the moment this leader was like, you know what? I know you are going to tell your daughter what she doesn't want to hear, but she has to hear it. And at the end of the day, she sat down with her daughter, and I had the opportunity to sit down with the daughter. She told me all her reasons, and I was like, you know what, hey girl, just listen carefully. Your mom loves you so much, and no matter what the man did, the father to your brother did, it's between the mom and the dad. If the mother actually is okay with it, you really have to learn to do that. And I also told the mother to also teach this daughter the principle of praying. Forgiving is something that I don't just joke around with. It's not something that can happen in a week and a month. It's a process. Just teach your child to learn how to make the best right decisions as well. So at the end of the day, this daughter is like, I'm going to try so much to accept him as my father. But it doesn't mean that I have forgotten what he once did before. I'm like, okay, it's cool. So now just imagine if this mother had not involved or had not considered involving her daughter in the decision making of the return of this father. And then like, the daughter has like 30 or 40% of the decision to be involved in, but it's really, really very important. And also going back to allowing children to take decisions, to be part of decision making in the family, to be part of the family planning, it helps them to be responsible. Now, I'm very sure like this daughter, she grew up having this experience, and how it's very important. Now, let's talk also about another way that we can involve our children in family planning or decision making the family. Like when you are budgeting at home, I love involving Ivy at home. Whether we are doing a meal plan, I call her. She's now 5. I've been doing that since she was 4 years. Because now she was really, really kind of like getting things right. I will be like, you know what, mom, this particular month, let's try to have this for breakfast. She'll kind of and give you the reasons as to why. She'll be like, when you eat this kind of food, you feel like this. Now, for me, who has ulcers, when I eat this kind of food, ABCD. You see that Ivy is very, very tricky. She'll be like, mommy, if you're eating matoke, I can be eating rice. All the babies will be eating rice. We can do with nuts, or we can do meat sometime. We can do chicken sometime. We can do some juice, this kind of juice sometime. Or we can make some cookies, cakes, and all that. You see that she's fully involved, and I don't take that for granted. Every time she mentions something, I make sure I put it down. So it's very important because it makes them to be responsible. Now, she's used to this point, like when we take maybe a few weeks without sitting down to plan, she'll be like, mommy, how comes we are not planning? Are we not going to eat? Are we changing this and this? Do you want us to get sick and get to the hospital? That's very, very important, and love us to take it to be so important, so seriously. So children who are making academic choices, it's very important. As parents, as teachers, as guardians, we just guide them, but we need to fully be involved. Some of the parents will love dominating everything, just because you want your doctor to be just because you want your daughter or son to be an engineer, you just press her even to the subject she's not comfortable with, but because she's afraid, she'll end up just doing things. And on graduation, these are the kind of children we see who come with degrees, with their diplomas, and be like, mommy, daddy, finally I'm done with this course, with this class, here is your degree. So one day I had the privilege of mentoring some of Midland High School Kawebe student with a colleague of mine. So, but we were so, which one should I use? We were so thrilled. There are some students actually who had their fears and concerns, but they couldn't express them just because they were afraid teachers and students would laugh at them. So we gave them the provision of just noting down what they really wanted to be addressed. And hey, parents, you don't know what you are doing to your children. You don't know how much I would just call it traumatizing. And some of them even like, why am I wasting time in school if I cannot make an academic a choice for myself? I'm very good at geography, history, and I love to do this. But my mommy, my daddy wants me to do biology, chemistry, and all that. And some will be like, I want to stop at senior 4 so that I can probably go and do a nursing school. Then after I can upgrade, all I do electrical engineering at that level, then I upgrade in the future. That's what I feel. So I think parents are very, it's very, very important to sit down with their children and listen to them. And I'm very sure one day I'll come and share with you how my parents were so supportive when I made academic choices, that even at this point, they are still grateful that any kind of decision I made, it was worth my faith, like my belief. So parents, academically, in family planning, budgets and all that, let's try to include our children. It's very, very important. It prepares them to be, it prepares them to be responsible citizens, responsible fathers, responsible mothers, responsible leaders. It helps them understand and to respect in any field they'll be actually placed. God knows exactly where we belong. So it's very, very important. The other thing is the relationship. Gone are the days where we used to get married to families. Yeah, of course, even right now it's still there. Like some parents be like, you cannot marry out of this status. You cannot marry out of this status. You cannot marry out of this and this. I think I know even a family right now. It's one of the prominent families that all the children actually are not allowed to marry in Uganda. So even when the children they are old enough, they are married to Americans. If they try to come back to the country and try even to chat, hang out with Ugandans, you see the mom fuming. You see the mom freaking out so badly, and it's really affecting some of the children. Like one of the sons would be like, my parents don't know how much they are actually frustrating our decisions, frustrating our mind. We know what you want. Like, I will never get married to this kind of person. I will never get married. I really want to get married to this, but mommy is insisting. So parents, sometimes it's our responsibility to pray for our children. I remember I made a TikTok video where I said, like, sometimes I might disagree with the kind of choices, even as young as my children are, that they make, but I'm also trying to help them, to teach them to be responsible thinkers. Sometimes we need to allow those children, we can guide them, counsel them, we pray for them, but sometimes we have to let them make some mistakes so that they can learn from their mistakes. And I'm so grateful that I've really had that moment in life where I've been given that opportunity to make the mistakes, and then at the end of the day, I learn from them. So parents, it's very, very important. Let us allow our children to be involved in our decisions. The moment you have children, they become part of you. You can't throw that out. You can't say, like, there are some couples, when they're having disagreements, when they're having some planning, they'll be like, children will have their own what? Life. Children will have their own life. After all, we never knew that even we could have them. But thank God, He blessed us with children. So whatever we do, it's between me and you. In the beginning, the children were not there, and even they are going to grow up and leave us, and they are going to leave us together. For me, it sounds okay, but I disagree with it. My children are part of all my decision making. If it's staying in a relationship, my children are part of my decision. I have to consider them. If it's divorce, if it's leaving the marriage, if it's leaving any kind of thing, if it's like traveling, going for greener pastures, I have to consider my children to be part of the decision I make. So if you're there and you think, like, children, okay, can have their own lifestyle when they grow up, please, as a parent, the moment you become a parent, your children will always be part of the decisions you make.